Hello, and welcome to another episode of Lee's Sisters. So, it's a bloody cold November day. Everywhere's bloody frosty. So, today's I'm going to start welding the vaporiser. So, I've just got it burning away all the crud and oil inside of it at the moment. I've got my new twin blow lamp for really getting some big warmth into it. Got a bit of a bench cell. I'm going to weld it on that old manifold. So the plan is that I'm going to weld it on there because I can put it out there onto the bench, and then it's fresh on there. Give it a quick blast with some heat, weld it, and then bury it in the sand. So I've got a tub of sand, I've got propane from my warm, split, I bought a Y piece to make life a bit easier. Got the heater going as well, try and get a bit of warmth in. That's smoking like hell still. So yeah, I'm just going to burn a bit of oil out of that, then grind it out ready. I've also got this to do, so I'm going to grind this first while that's just burning off. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all go alright. what I've done is ground all up all the edges. I've ground like a bit of a groove in. It's all too bloody hot yet, still too old, but here's what I've done basically on this piece cold. So ground up all so everything's clean for where the surface areas are. Then I put it together and I've used my die grinder bit to make the groove. So basically that's what I'll follow. So there's a little gap. So that bit's too hot to hold, so I'll put this plate back on and then I'll do the same just right across the top one last time to make sure, because I'll weld that up and over the top. And then what I'll do, I'll fill. So that's the inlet side, that's exhaust, that's an exhaust side. I'll fill, probably put that plate on and then fill both these sides with sand. So all this is packed with sand and it'll act like a thermal battery. So yes, now it is quite hot, but I want it to stop hot for a very long time. So hence why when it's in that tray, it's just a bit of extra sand, just making sure it's dry completely. I'll pack that in there. I don't need to do this side because that's linked into there, so that's a tube on its own. I'll pack in there, block that one off, and then hopefully all that will just sit nice and toasty, and then I'll bury it in there. So I have got some help coming to help swing all the heaters, because I'm just conscious that just warm enough. So that's going to go on there like that. So you see I've just tied up all the surfaces, a little groove. I probably won't do any more on there, to be fair, it's about right. Because that bit's gone, unless I can touch that bit, well that bit I can't even touch it, so just shows the difference between that. And then obviously when I weld this piece it'll be molten, so what I don't want to do, I had a little warm-up practice this morning, I don't want it to do that where it's because I welded this cold and just run a quick bead just to make sure everything welded was set right, and you can see it's just cracked right through the middle, and that's stone cold is that. So I want it all to come to a temperature all at the same time. So weld a bit, quick heat, weld a bit, quick heat, and then when it's done, get it out of there, blast with a big burner and dump it in there, and let it sit nice and toasty. So that's the plan. Right, there we go. Just bolt it back up. It's all ground out, ready to weld. I'm going to fasten a plate across back of here for this, so this corner's got something to rest on, and I'll probably have to weld that piece and then leave it and then weld that bit separate, unless I can work something out from there to come across and hold it in place, but I'll sort something with that. Might even just weld it freehand where it is. It's a little bit warm. Just wired up that. It's an old broken one I've got, so hopefully be enough just to keep sanding, and I'll pack her with sand now, ready to warm. Right. Sand, plaggy pipe, what can go wrong? So that's coming straight to the other side. So what can go wrong? I can see it's been a bit of a pain. Sounds good. Full. It's good. We'll find something to block that side up with. Just gonna have a quick look. Right, so what I've found is a gasket and a bracket cover. Can turn it around a bit, you can see. So let's drop that in there. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. And that is definitely not pretty, and it is definitely functional. I think I'll knit them up enough for that. This should hold. Plus, if now else, it'll bond paint off at mag cover for me for another job. Should have that. How wham is it? Not too bad. Make this job a bit easier. Look at that. Might even see them do the same with this side. Side. Still finding places to creep down into. Put my glove on, it's just too hot for holding. Good, right, smidging top of that, and I'll find something else to put over that top. I think that's about packed in as it's going to go. And then I might even see about filling this bit. It's just the bottom I'm worried about, just all the sand pouring out, but see what we can do. quality sand. This one? Yeah, just watch your eyes. Fucking helmet's not working. Come on, just go for another heat again. Ready now?
Yeah.
Right, go to heat. That's loud.
A bit of this bulb normally.
Don't worry on that. So I'm going to try and do it. So you keep the heat in as much as you can. Knock it off, I'll try and be quick. Wall it again. Right. Eight. Helmet's just decided to go flat. What has the battery? I don't think this is working. Looks half decent, is that? Keep going with it. Right, you ready? I'm going to pick your dumping straight in there and just get to the right. I think it'll be a bit warm. Right, 3, 2, 1. Right, get it a quick warm. Keep warming. Just to build that side. Right, off. It's just got to sit now. Dustpan and brush, I'll sweep that bit in.
Have you got an old baking tray?
No.
And so you could put that piece there on a metal tray and stick it in the oven. Give it half an hour, 20 minutes in the oven. This one.
Well, bake it, heat it with a flan, then stick it in the oven afterwards.
Yeah. One.
A little bit. I do to me the wrapper, come on. White covers. Yeah.
Can I have them sheets?
These are yours.
I think so.
On it.
Yeah.
We do have a gas leak. Right, so this is the day after I've done my cast welding. So I did two parts. I did the vaporizer first and I buried it in this tub of sand, which you saw in the video. And the second part, which I filmed but the bloody phone didn't record, was the water top. So how I welded this was, I got 3 blocks off the drive to get it off the wooden base. I didn't set fire to that again. But I welded it on top of 1 block. Because these are a machine flat surface and I had 2 parts, I put it on one. I put a bolt on one side and then moved the part up and then welded it together. So here is the part that's welded. It has actually turned out quite well. There's a bit of an extra blob here, but it's nice tall weld. It's got plenty of penetration. It's come through underneath in places, so I'm pleased with that. So what I did with that, because I've run out of sand, I didn't have enough room in here and I didn't want to disturb it, I warmed it, picked it up. I had the oven running in the house flat out, and I chucked it in the oven, and then I slowly turned it down after about 5 or 6 hours, and I took it out of the oven this morning after it's now completely cold and it's not cracked. So that's that one, which I'm really pleased about. The next part's the vaporizer. I've not looked at this. All I've done is pick it up off the floor, dump it on here. So this is how it's been left all night. It's been wrapped in loads of blankets. So I'm going to go for the uncovering. It is dead cold. And that is the vaporizer. So I'm pleased to say that the weld has not cracked. So it's worked absolutely perfectly, which I'm really, really pleased about. I've only welded it from the top. It's a little bit undercut in the corner. So what I did first, I stitched that corner, then I stitched this corner, and then I laid the centre as one run. You'll see my plates have held the sand in, so it's still packed all the middle part with sand, and there's only the inlet side which hasn't got any sand in. So I'll ooh, loads of soot. Big cupboard. So what I'll do now is I'll uncover them and tip it out, and I'll have a good look from underneath. So here it is, all uncovered. Let's just move these blocks because it's making it all a little bit precarious. There it is, glued back on. Now, yeah, I ain't done the other side because the plate was across there holding it in, and it was holding the sand in as well. But there is the weld. So hopefully that has held. Looks like it has. Nice. I'm not willing to tap it with hammer to find out. But, yeah, it's held up very well. I'm really pleased. So that one has also turned out very well. So I am really, really pleased with that. So to say it's my first time, I'll try and keep my bucket of dried sand for if I do any more, which I know I have got to do at some point. So yeah, next job is getting it all cleaned off, get all these surfaces filed up so they're nice and flat, particularly that one, and getting it assembled. Right, after that lot, I'll just say I proclaim to be no expert at cast welding at all. So I watched a lot of YouTube for a start. I asked some very knowledgeable people, some in America, some in the Netherlands. One particular fella, thanks for your help, particularly from the Netherlands. He's been really helpful. A few chaps from the UK. I put a couple of posts on one of the TIG welding groups, and everyone said he couldn't do it, to use nickel, not to use cast. But yeah, there isn't a lot out there on actual using the cast rods, but yeah, it's worked. So there's the two bits done, which I'm really pleased of. So next job, get them cleaned up, tied up, make them look right, and get them put back on. So that's the next part of the video, is getting them thrown back on.